I had the opportunity for revenge, but I couldn't take it. 11-month update. I once had the perfect chance to get revenge, but when the moment came, I just couldn't do it. About a month ago, I discovered something that shattered everything I believed in. The person I loved the most, the woman I thought I would spend my life with, had been secretly seeing my best friend for at least a year. It felt like my entire world collapsed in an instant. The more I dug into it, the worse it got. It turned out that all of our so-called friends knew about it the whole time. Not only did they know, but they kept hanging out with the two of them, pretending everything was fine while I was blissfully unaware. I've never been great at socializing. I'm awkward, introverted, the kind of person who struggles to open up. Every friend I had, I met through my best friend. So I guess it's only natural that when things fell apart, they chose him over me. Still, that didn't make the betrayal hurt any less. I thought we were a family, that when life got hard, we'd be there for each other. I spent entire days and nights supporting them through their darkest moments. I was there for one of them when his parent passed away. He didn't want to be alone, and I stayed by his side to make sure he wouldn't do something rash. I helped another when her boss was harassing her. I rewrote her resume, helped her prepare for interviews, and got her out of that toxic job. When one of them came out as gay and his parents threw him out, I let him stay at my place for 3 months, rent-free. All 6 of them went through hell at some point, and I was always there, no questions asked. I thought that meant something. I thought it built a bond that couldn't be broken. But now I see the truth. I was never their friend. I was just convenient. Someone to lean on until they could stand again. Even my best friend and my girlfriend, the 2 people I trusted most, used me in the same way. I helped him start his business when no one else believed in him. I spent hours helping him with designs, paperwork, anything he needed. The business still hasn't taken off, but he continues to ask for my help, as if nothing happened. And her. I worked day and night to help her pay off her medical bills after her surgery. I was exhausted, juggling multiple jobs, but I did it because I loved her, because I believed she would have done the same for me. For the last few months, I've been living away from home, taking care of my sick mother. Every weekend, I drove 10 hours just to make sure my girlfriend was okay, still thinking she loved me. I had every reason in the world to hate them. I had every chance to destroy their lives the way they destroyed mine. But when I looked at them, really looked at them, I couldn't do it. Maybe that makes me weak. Or maybe it means that despite everything, I still refuse to become like them. I scrolled through her phone and saw everything. Photos, flirtatious messages, private group chats, all those plans for meetings, outings, and secret get-togethers. There were derogatory messages about me, written "I love yous," and constant back and forth. One minute they pretend to still love me, the next they want to leave, the next they don't want to hurt me anymore. And then, the next minute they suddenly realize they need me again. They all still need my help. I was furious, so furious that I scared myself. Being that quiet person everyone runs to for help means being the one trusted with secrets. People reveal the most dangerous details to you, ones that can seriously harm both you and them. I spent the last month gathering evidence and crafting a plan. I thought I could ruin their lives so completely that they'd never return to their former selves without someone's selfless help. But then who would come to their aid? Not me, but they, and they wouldn't be able to help each other because they'd all be in the same boat. I had everything prepared: photos, videos, chat logs. The lease was ending in December, and I wasn't planning on renewing it. I already had a new job. It would pay less, but it was what I really wanted to do. I'd already moved the most important things. The rest was unimportant. I pretended to go to my mom's. I left the house, returned an hour later, and saw through the window that scene. Him and her cuddled, kissing, and the others sitting around, talking as if it were an ordinary, unremarkable day. I photographed the scene. At that moment, I was ready to send those messages and letters, almost ready to set fire to their foundations and watch everything go up in flames. I couldn't. No matter how deeply I was hurt, I simply couldn't take responsibility for ruining someone's life. Yes, they had committed the acts I had uncovered, but the ultimate decision to set their existence on fire would still fall on my shoulders. The consequences would have hit innocent people too, and I didn't want to be the one causing that kind of damage. I reached the brink, but I finally took the step. I sent that photo to the group chat and watched. One by one, they started opening the message, then panic probably set in. Someone finally noticed my car, and I saw everyone turn their heads. What was going through their heads? Panic, remorse, pity, sadness? I don't know. I started the car and pulled away. At that moment, my ex came out barefoot, in the cold, running as fast as she could. Whether she was crying from shame or regret, I didn't care. I went to my mom's. They tried calling and bombarded me with thousands of messages. At first, I read them all. With each new message, my feelings for them waned. Pleas for mercy gave way to apologies, then anger, then abject pleading and questions about who would now do what I did for all of them. It didn't affect me anymore. I'll change my number on Monday. I still get voicemails from her, sobbing every 20 to 30 minutes, begging her to come back. I get texts from my best friend, promising to sell everything and give it to me to make amends. Friends send apologies and ask to renew our friendship. I don't know what drives them, but they understand that I've read their messages. I think I've gotten over it. The anger has passed. In its place came relief, and even a quiet satisfaction that I didn't respond to them with their own standards. Revenge wouldn't have brought me any satisfaction. I'm glad I didn't become what they were. 11-month update, October 1st, 2023. Hey everyone. I randomly remembered this account today and figured, why not give you all an update? First off, the best news I could share. My mom's doing great. Her recovery has gone far better than we ever expected. She's even started training for a 5K run. Her goal is to complete one before 2025. Seeing her determination has been such a huge source of inspiration for me. And really, thank you all for the kind messages and support. It meant a lot back when things were falling apart. Now, I'd love to sit here and tell you that everything's perfect, that I'm thriving, that my ex, my former best friend, and all those so-called friends are drowning in misery while I live my best life. But the truth is, life doesn't work like a movie. There are no dramatic slow-motion scenes where the villain gets punished and the hero walks off into the sunset. Life is quieter, messier, and somehow more real. Still, it's getting pretty close to a happy ending. Because honestly, I'm doing amazing. My new job has turned out to be one of the most fulfilling things I've ever done. It doesn't pay as much as the old one, but it gives me peace. And that's something I didn't realize I'd been missing. Without the constant drain of paying off someone else's medical bills or covering rent for an apartment that never really felt like home, I've been able to save up a decent amount of money. And for once, I decided to spend it on something that actually matters. Me. No, I didn't suddenly turn into a fitness influencer or hit the gym every day, but I did finally fix my teeth. They'd always bothered me, a bit of discoloration, uneven shades, and after some work, they look great now. When the dentist removed the old enamel and shaped the crowns, it looked like the inside had been painted with Pepsi. It was honestly shocking, but the final result, a massive boost to my confidence. After that, I started paying more attention to how I present myself, building outfits, trying new styles, and learning how to feel comfortable in my own skin again. I also started taking medication for anxiety, and that's helped me more than I can describe. For the first time in years, I feel calm, centered. capable of just living without feeling constantly on edge. And yeah, I've started talking to someone new. Nothing serious yet, just texting back and forth, but it feels natural. No games, no tension, no walking on eggshells. Just two people talking, and that's more than enough for now. As for the people I left behind, I honestly don't keep track. I've heard bits and pieces, rumors that came from a long chain of someone told someone. So who knows how true any of it is. Supposedly, my ex and my former best friend are expecting a baby. Word is, things are rough financially. His business is still struggling, and with all the medical debt, they're barely hanging on. But somehow they're making it work.
That girl I helped find a new job? Apparently, she got involved with her boss, who might be married or might not be, nobody seems to know. And when it all blew up, he threw her under the bus to save himself. Somehow she managed to stay at the company, probably because they didn't want a scandal. She always knew how to land on her feet, I'll give her that. Another one of them, last I heard, got engaged. Funny thing is, I didn't even know he was seeing anyone. Guess life moves fast when you're desperate to fill a void. And the guy I let crash at my place for 3 months? He's doing okay, from what I gather, though someone mentioned he caught an STD from one of his random hookups. Karma comes in strange ways, I guess. As for the last one, I have no clue where he ended up. And honestly, I'm fine not knowing. So I'd say it's been a mixed outcome. Good for me and a bit rough for them, though nothing catastrophic. Just ordinary life taking its course. Maybe that's what real karmic justice looks like. Not fire and fury, just quiet balance finding its way back. The last time I heard from my ex was about 6 months ago. She sent a long email, a sort of confession, apology, and reflection all in one. She wrote about how sorry she was for everything that happened, how she never meant to destroy what we had. According to her, she didn't plan to fall in love with him. It just happened while she still had feelings for me, and she didn't know how to handle it. She said that during that time, she had become too dependent on me, that relying on me for everything made her feel small, powerless, even resentful. And being with him somehow gave her the illusion of control, like she was reclaiming a part of herself she had lost. She ended the message by saying she regrets the pain she caused, but doesn't regret having loved either of us. That she still loves both me and him in her own way, and that she'll always be there if I ever need her. I never replied. There was no point, not out of anger, just because there was nothing left to say. I can understand her reasoning, it doesn't excuse her actions, but I get where it came from. People are messy, unpredictable creatures. Love isn't clean or logical, it's chaotic, full of contradictions, and sometimes we end up hurting the very people we care for the most.
Do I forgive her? In a way, yes. Not completely, not in the everything's fine now sense, but enough to let it go and move forward. I don't like what she did, and I don't feel anything for her anymore, but I do believe she truly loved both of us in her own complicated way. She has no reason to lie now, and maybe that honesty, however flawed, is her own kind of redemption. Anyway, that's life. C'est la vie. Take care of yourselves, everyone, and don't waste your energy being angry on my behalf. Life's too short to keep carrying bitterness that doesn't belong to you.